Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts, and guys, the newest episode of Supergirl Season 1, Episode 18, World's Finest, the crossover with The Flash, just finished airing on TV, and I'm here to review / just talk about the episode. If you've not seen the newest episode of Supergirl, Episode 18, World's Finest, the crossover with The Flash, click away now. If you've not seen the episode, click away now. This is a spoiler review for the episode, so I'm going to spoil the whole entire episode for you in this review. So if you've seen the episode, great. If not, click away. You've been warned. Okay, let's jump into this episode. So first things first, the thing I'm going to talk about is obviously The Flash coming to Supergirl. Now I have one critique about this episode, one negative comment, and everything else is positive. But I want to say this first, get it out of the way, and we'll get to all the positives. So my only real critique is that they really didn't give a lot of explanation to how he got to Earth 3, as I call it. Earth 1 is Barry's Earth, The Flash's Earth. Earth 2 is where Zoom is from, Jay Garrick. If you've been watching The Flash, you know what I'm talking about. That's Earth 2. Supergirl's Earth is Earth 3. The only real mention is that I've been testing my speed, so I guess I got to a alternate Earth somehow. That's the only way they explained it. I really wish it would have went into more of it. Now, he did explain alternate Earths to them, but other than that, he just said, yeah, I've been testing my speed, and now I'm here. So other than that, I mean, everything's positive, but that's just the one thing I have that I really wish they would have went to more explanation to, how this is possible. He was like, I have no idea. Well, you would have thought, he would have figured this out. You thought you would have seen a scene of him jumping through a portal, and he's now on Earth 3, and he's like, where am I? They didn't show that at all. So it's like, he's randomly here. So, okay. That really wish they would have explained that a little bit more. Anyways, so the Flash's interaction with Supergirl starts off really cool. So he saves her from falling out of a building from Silver Banshee's scream. And then basically she's like, I gotta get back to the city. So she takes off her regular clothes as she's flying away, and she's wearing her suit. And then they meet up a little bit later, like a couple seconds later. And then he's like, well, I'm the fastest man alive. I'm the Flash. She's like, the who? And then, I'm Supergirl. Huh? And then Barry was like saying to her, do you know Green Arrow? Black Canary, Firestorm, Zoom. And it's like, okay, well, of course, if she doesn't know you, she's not going to know anybody else. And throughout the episode, they kept showing their chemistry and all that kind of stuff, and they basically really got along really well, and I think it worked for a great crossover. And what I've been seeing on Twitter is that this show was very crucial. Like, they really wanted people to watch this episode, and for good reason. Obviously, the big crossover event, it was a great episode. I really did enjoy it. And I'm glad that they were able to do it, because seeing Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, the Flash, interacting with Supergirl, interacting with Kara as herself, not being Supergirl, seeing him interact with Cat Grant for a bit, which is pretty funny, seeing him interact with Winn, which Winn loves him. Winn loves the Flash. He loves Barry. And so it's very cool to see that, instantly he's got a friend, Barry's got a friend besides Supergirl. James, he's not really feeling him. Not really feeling Barry, but then again, that's because, he's really wanting to be with Kara, and he sees that Kara and Barry have some kind of connection, a little bit of chemistry. But seeing the Flash team up with Supergirl to take on the villains, which we'll get to in about a minute or so, about who the villains of this episode, but seeing Barry and Kara team up as Supergirl and the Flash was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool to see that, and I'm hoping that if Supergirl gets picked up officially for a second season, that Supergirl comes over to the Flash universe, the Arrowverse, the Flash Arrow Legends of Tomorrow universe, and there's some big crossover event that happens there. But we'll see what happens. But for what happened tonight, it was a great foundation to start off these crossovers that are kind of jumping dimensions, jumping Earths. So we'll see how that goes over, but I really did enjoy their chemistry. It really worked out for the best, and they had a really nice moment at one point where Barry's giving her some advice, and it really worked out for the best. So, Barry's going to give advice, and at one point he was saying, we need to have a plan to take down these villains, and she's like, no, I gotta get Livewire now. And it's like, okay, Barry's been taught by Oliver, Green Arrow, to have a plan, and she didn't have a plan. Like, she landed in the warehouse, and he gets there later. He's like, oh, I beat you. He's like, well, I ran around the perimeter to make sure everything was okay, so I got here before you. So Barry was learning how to do so. He was checking perimeters, because before, Barry to run into a place, and Barry didn't care. But now Barry checks perimeters and stuff. He's being a smart superhero. So maybe Kara can learn a thing or two, and I think she did. So that was pretty awesome. thumbs up, great chemistry, really enjoyed it. It's interesting to see how they're going to handle a crossover where she comes over to the Flash and seeing how she interacts with Caitlin, Cisco, maybe Harrison Wells, who knows. I'm excited to see how that's going to go over, maybe next season when she crosses over to the Flash. If it happens, hope so. The two villains, Livewire, and now the new addition, Silver Banshee. Now, I didn't think they were going to be doing Silver Banshee at all in Supergirl. Then again, they've done a lot of things I didn't expect they were going to be doing on this show so far. They did the Black Mercer. They've done Bizarro Supergirl. They've done a bunch of stuff I did not expect them to do on this show. Like, the show has gotten way better since the start off of the show. So I got to give them props for really pushing the boundary on doing stuff for first season of Supergirl, because it may not get renewed. So they're really going balls to the wall for Supergirl. But for the villains, they brought Livewire back. She has a thing with Cat Grant. She has an issue with Cat Grant. And then now, of course, I forget her name, but she's Silver Banshee now. She has an issue with Cat Grant. And, of course, with Kara, who basically at the time was affected by red kryptonite, got her fired. So Silver Banshee's like, I'm going to come after you, Kara. I'm going to come after Cat Grant. Cat Grant protects Kara and Supergirl, and they're both the same person, but you get my point. And seeing Livewire and Silver Banshee team up was pretty cool. So it was like, you got Livewire, Silver Banshee, Cat Grant, holding her hostage out in the middle of the city, which is weird, holding her hostage in the middle of the city. You see them two team up, and then you see the Flash Supergirl team up. So it made sense, because let's say it was just Livewire, or if it was just introduced Silver Banshee against two of them, against Supergirl and the Flash, they would have lost immediately. But in the sense of this, team up villains, team up heroes, it was pretty awesome. Now thinking about it, the only other real critique is how the villains were defeated. It wasn't Supergirl, and it wasn't the Flash. The Flash was actually incapacitated for a bit, and Supergirl stopped Livewire from taking out a helicopter, which is very heroic, and now they're all standing in front of her. No, you can't take out Supergirl! And then the fire department shows up and just shoots water at Livewire, and then takes her out, and then her electricity shocks Silver Banshee and knocks her out too. So the firefighters won the day. So the firefighters are now heroes, I guess. But I saw some tweets, people complain about that. It wasn't really a huge critique of mine, because to me, as a fan of the show, not like a humongous fan like the Flash, but as a fan of Supergirl, the show, seeing what she's been through a couple episodes ago, and seeing that now the city has now embraced her again and is with her now again, as, side by side, helping her out and all that kind of stuff, helping her out defeating the villains. It was good, but I really wish Supergirl and Flash would have defeated them, but it is what it is. So there you have it. And the last thing I did want to mention is Cat Grant knowing that Barry Allen is the Flash. Like, she just knew. Like, Barry shows up, the Flash shows up. It just made a lot of sense. And then she drops the bomb right to Kara's face about, I can tell people are, are faking, or basically a reference to the fact that she's so blinded that Kara and Supergirl are the same person, yet she has no idea. Yet she knows immediately Barry Allen's the Flash. I mean, she's like, oh, I see everything. Okay, sure you do. So anyways, guys, it was a pretty great episode. I really did enjoy the crossover. I was really happy with it. And to see them race at the end was pretty awesome, but it was a good episode. So what do you guys think of this episode? What did you think about it? What was your favorite part? Was there any things you didn't like about the episode? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching my review, my very first review of the Supergirl episode, but I had to because the Flash crossed over. And I didn't think it would ever happen, and it did, so I had to make a review of it. So I'm hoping this review is okay. If not, well, there you go. This is why I'm not reviewing Supergirl, because it's completely different than Flash and Arrow. So thank you guys so much for watching my review, and this episode was awesome. So peace out.